Welcome to Go Get Great, the podcast for aspiring entrepreneurs and ambitious small business owners. I'm your host, Brittany, owner of Brittany Miller Socials and mother of 3. Go Get Great is all about helping you make life and business work together. You'll learn about the fumbles that helped get me and my guests to where we are today so you don't have to make them. So come join the journey with Go Get Great.
Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of the Go Get Great podcast. I am still under the weather, believe it or not. It has been weeks, so I apologize if I sound a little funny still today. I really hope that this will go away soon. But I asked on the weekend what it was you guys wanted me to talk about in some of my upcoming podcast episodes, and you guys voted for email marketing changes that are coming in February of 2024. So that is exactly what we're going to do today. And while I was kind of thinking through and planning for this episode, it occurred to me that this is the first time I've actually talked about email marketing as a dedicated episode on my podcast. So today I'm going to be pretty much specifically talking about some of the changes that are coming in February and how you can implement them and what that's going to impact in your business. But I will do some episodes probably in the next couple months about, email basics and best practices and things like that. Since it is such a huge topic that people have questions about and something that I do in my business. So there will be more. But today, like I said, we're going to be talking about some of the upcoming legal requirements and changes that you're going to need to make if you're doing email marketing, or what you can do to set it up right from the beginning if you are new to email marketing. And if you don't have email marketing, you definitely should. So stay tuned to the rest of this episode. You're going to learn lots. I'm going to try and make sure that it's super easy to understand and implement for you. So just a little bit of a background. Email marketing has long since been one of the most effective sales avenues for businesses of all sizes. It has the highest return on investment and conversion rate that is 3 times higher than social media. So those statistics right there speak for themselves about why I recommend email marketing to a lot of small business owners. And consistency and success with email marketing requires only a fraction of the work that social media does, which is why it's an integral part of my business strategy, and also why it's one of the services that I offer, because I truly believe that every business can benefit from email marketing. So we're going to dive into some of the upcoming changes that are coming. But a quick note before we get started. Technically, these new requirements should only apply to businesses with sending volumes of 5,000 emails per day or more. However, many email marketing providers and platforms, including OmniSend, the one that I use in my personal business, is requiring these changes for accounts of all sizes, because they are practices that will benefit all businesses and consumers by providing higher legitimacy and relevance for the emails that you receive. So you will likely need to do these. Some of these changes will have a bigger impact on you than others. And I'm going to include some links in the show notes as well to some of the articles that I'm going to reference in the episode today. And I'll also try and remember to include a link if you'd like to get started with OmniSend. I have a referral code. Okay, so in early October of 2023, Google announced new email marketing requirements, and Yahoo was quick to follow suit. So these changes are coming into effect and will be enforced starting February of 2024 for people who have to have safer and less spammy inboxes. That was their goal when they implemented these new rules that we're going to be talking about. And yes, they did say they will be enforced, meaning that businesses that fail to implement these changes will likely lose access to their emailing privileges. So the first change is that you can no longer send email marketing communications from an @Gmail, @Outlook, etc. email address. So if you have an email address like my old one, brittanyMillerSocials@gmail.com, you'll still be able to send your one-off email communications to your clients, But if you're doing email marketing, aka mass emailing people, you're going to have to purchase a custom email address connected to the domain of your business. So like my new email address is hello@brittanyMillerSocials.ca. So before, this was just recommended to increase deliverability. Deliverability meaning the chance that your email lands in someone's primary inbox and not their junk folder or the other tabs. But now it's actually a requirement to increase email authenticity and prevent inboxes from being flooded with fake and spam emails like your long lost relative just died. Click here to claim your $1 million inheritance, which hopefully we all know is fake. But they're really honing in on that one. And this was one of the changes that OmniSend had me make in my account in the last couple of weeks. So to successfully authenticate your business related emails, you will be required to set up 3 different domains being related to your email address domain authentications with your website or email host. So that's wherever you purchase the rights to your email. I did mine through Wix. So this will be the most technical part of the email marketing changes. And I am not one that's tech savvy. So bear with me because I'm trying to put this into words that a non-tech person like myself understands, because it did take me a minute to get this. But it did not actually take long to implement. It just took me a minute to understand. So there are 3 authentications that you need. One is called SPF, and no, it's not sunscreen. It's called Sender Policy Framework. Another is DKIM, which means Domain Key Identified Mail, and DMARC, which is Domain-Based Message Authentication Reporting and Conformance. And prior to doing this podcast episode where I actually Googled what those meant, I had literally no idea what they are because they really don't relate to email marketing in any sense of the word. But basically what these 3 things do is they connect to your website domain that you've purchased in your email address, and they tell email platforms, yes, this is a legitimate business. They have paid for the use of this email address and they're sending real communications to your inbox. So it means that by setting these up, your emails are going to land in someone's Gmail inbox and they're not going to get flagged by Gmail as spam and end up in the junk folder. So like I said earlier, before you go panicking about these tech changes, which I totally did until I actually implemented them, this one took me like 5 minutes or less. And I know that this will depend on the type of email provider that you're using, but OmniSend made it very simple. All I had to do was sign in, click a button, and copy and paste the SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records into text files in Wix, as in like the domain host section of it. So the most complicated part of the entire process was getting into Wix, where all of my domains were, to add these new files. But as long as you know where you purchased your domain from, that should be really quick and easy for you. So it could be Google domains, it could be GoDaddy. I purchased mine through Wix when I purchased my website subscriptions. That was why mine's through Wix. But chances are yours is going to be kind of like one of those 3, either your website provider, GoDaddy is very popular, or Google Domains is going to be where you're going to go to do that. And I can't promise that all email providers will, like I said, make it this easy. And it may not be a requirement right now, but it will likely be something that all email providers will roll out in the near future, even if you don't have a large email list size, because their systems are going to have no way of separating, hey, this person sends more than 5,000 emails a day, and hey, this person doesn't. So they're just going to make it a flat rule that everyone's going to have these if they're using their email system. So this change, I anticipate, will be the first one that people are going to see and have to implement for their business. And the email platforms are going to try and make it really, really easy for you because they want you to keep using the platforms. Excuse me. So once you have your new domain records set up, all the emails that you send from your email platform have to come from the email address that you set up. So all of my emails have to come from hello@brittanyMillerSocials.ca because that's the one that I've authenticated and verified. If you already have emails built in your system, I'm thinking like email sequences, welcome sequences, abandoned cart, anything like that, you should go back through and check just to make sure that the send address is updated. Otherwise, they may not send. So if you had to switch your email address and authenticate your new one, you just want to make sure that everything else in the system is following suit, and the systems may not auto update that information for you. So just have a quick look through and make sure that all of your sequences are still good, because the last thing you want to do is do all this authenticating and then the system still not send out the emails for you. And also, one of the things that I like to know when changes like this happen is, okay, well, how much is this going to impact my bottom line? So for reference, my domain verified email address, hello@brittanyMillerSocials.ca, cost me $10.57 per month Canadian. So it's one of my least expensive investments, and it is the one that yields the highest return. So I would definitely say that as much as this change sucks for a lot of business owners because there is a new cost to doing this, the benefits are going to outweigh the cost for you because of the investment. Like, it's in email marketing, it has the highest return, and it's really not that expensive to pay for an email address. So what this means for you, like I just mentioned, the cost of email marketing is increasing. You're going to have to do a little bit of verification. It's a one-time setup. It should only take a few minutes, and then it'll be done for good. And you're going to need to go back through and just double check that all of your sequences are now sending from your authenticated email address. So it's a little bit of setup work, and then it will be all done for you. But then you also have peace of mind knowing that your emails are very likely to land in someone's primary folder, to get clicked on, and then have purchases made through it. So this is actually a really good change for businesses. This is actually a really good change for businesses. So the second change is you have to enable one-click unsubscribe. So as Google noted in their announcement, you shouldn't have to jump through hoops to stop receiving unwanted messages from a business. I agree. So now you have to have a one-click unsubscribe option that's very clearly visible and easily accessible in your email footers. And the unsubscribe must be processed within 2 days, meaning 2 days or less after they hit that button, they can't receive emails from you anymore. So this is mostly a systems thing, meaning that your email marketing platform is going to be working to fulfill those requirements if they don't already, meaning you're likely not going to have very much to do here unless you've built custom unsubscribe pages, like the ones that you see that are like, are you sure you really want to go update your email preferences? And there's 17 different buttons that you have to toggle on and off. Yeah, those are annoying. You can't do that anymore. The ones that say, tell us why you're unsubscribing is honestly a bit of a gray area here. I'm not sure whether that's still going to be allowed because that's technically beyond the one-click unsubscribe. But one of the other changes we're going to talk about today is kind of related to this. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. Stay tuned. As soon as I have more information for you, I will let you know. But if you have one of these fancy unsubscribe pages, you need to get rid of it if the system doesn't do it for you automatically. So you might need to reach out to your customer support in your email platform and ask if it's going to be automatic, or you might just have to turn off the linking in your unsubscribe button so it doesn't take someone to that page. And you'll need to do this before February when these changes come out, if you're sending more than 5,000 emails a day. So what this means for you, your unsubscribe rate will likely increase over the next 3 to 6 months, which, as a small business owner myself, I know can feel super disheartening, since email list growth can often feel slow at times, especially if you're not remembering to promote your email list regularly and provide copious and frequent opportunities for new people to get on your list. But this is going to be temporary, and truthfully, it's good for your business. So the reason your unsubscribe rate may increase is because now you don't have that second page option where it's like, what emails do you actually want to receive? So sometimes if you are a business that has multiple, I'm going to call them income streams, but basically multiple topic buckets that you talk about in your emails, having those what emails do you actually want can keep people on your list longer when they can choose what emails they receive from you. So like for me, when I have social media, email marketing, podcasting, someone might only be interested in one or two of those things. And when they receive emails about all three, it can feel like a lot to them, especially if they're not interested in that third topic. So they'll be more likely to stay on my list if they can just choose what emails they want. So that's not something that you can offer in the unsubscribe feature anymore, but that's something that I'm going to talk about later because it is something you can still do to keep people on your list. So if you're not implementing some of the tactics I talk about later in today's podcast episode, your unsubscribe rate will likely increase over the next few months while your followers get used to the fact that they can have one-click unsubscribe. But like I mentioned, this is actually really good for your business because it means your list is going to be smaller, and smaller is sometimes better because decreasing the size of your list could also decrease the paid package that you're on, meaning maybe you don't need to upgrade to a paid plan as soon and you can continue using the free option. And it sends fewer emails. So sometimes email platforms charge based on your list size, and sometimes they charge based on the number of emails you send. So either way, a smaller list is going to likely help you save money in the world of email marketing. And if people are truly never going to buy from you, then they don't need to be on your list. So you should let them unsubscribe or not have them subscribe in the first place. So as much as seeing a decrease in your numbers can feel like a stab in the heart sometimes, it will actually benefit you in the long run to only have people on your list that are truly interested in your services and are going to want to buy what you have to offer when you're selling something. So the third change is to make sure people actually want to receive your emails. Seems self-explanatory, right? And it's kind of tied to the point above, but basically Google and email service providers use an independent metric that's called a spam rate to determine whether or not people are receiving your emails of their own volition. No one wants spammy emails, so that's why they created a benchmark for business owners that you'll need to stay under in order to continue sending emails. So this is an industry first that they're going to be monitoring this really heavily and actually enforcing this limit. But if you have a strong email marketing strategy already, it's really not going to impact your business. So the new spam rate is 0.3%. And your email provider is likely tracking this for you already, which is why it's fabulous to have an actual email provider instead of just sending your emails out through Gmail. But if not, you can set up an independent system like Google Postmasters to monitor your spam or complaint level if you don't see anywhere in your email provider that it's tracking this info. So I know like OmniSend does. I'm pretty sure I've seen it in MailerLite as well when I've been doing work for clients. I would anticipate that most email platforms track this already, but I'll include the link to Google Postmasters in the show notes anyway. So the key thing to remember here is that these new rules are technically designed for high volume senders, so 5,000 emails per day or more, meaning that 15 plus 1 people would have to unsubscribe from an email in order to trigger this and shut your account down. So I fully anticipate that Google and Yahoo will not be enforcing this with smaller businesses. So don't panic about having one vengeful person shut your business down if you have a small list size. I really, really can't see that happening. So what this means for you is a few things. For starters, don't panic about it. Like I said, I don't foresee them doing this, but there are certain things that you're going to want to put in place to have a strong email marketing strategy because no one wants to be seen as spammy. And this is where I'm not sure how the unsubscribe is going to work, because if it's a one-click unsubscribe, I don't know how they're going to track this now, because it's usually when they do the why are you unsubscribing that you get like the checkbox options where it's like, this is spam. I never signed up. I get too many emails. I'm just not interested anymore. So if you can't answer those questions when you unsubscribe, because that's more than the one click, I don't really know how they're going to track this. So I'm waiting to kind of see more information come out about how that's all going to work. So for now, don't worry about it too much, but we will talk about things that you can put in place to help you lower your spam rate regardless. So if you have a smaller email list and haven't set up an email marketing platform, I want to address that for a minute. You could consider still manually sending emails out through your current Gmail account, basically BCCing everyone to avoid all of these new rules. So that is one option. However, I do strongly advise that all business owners who are regular sending mass emails, meaning once a month or more, you're sending an email out to a large number of people, you should set up an email platform to manage your subscribers and do all of the like tech stuff that is just in general too tedious for business owners to do. So once you do start with an email provider, I recommend you setting up your system to adhere to all of these rules regardless, so you're not constantly monitoring your daily email send numbers, especially around launch times. I think that would be when it would be the most impactful for businesses, and also the most problematic. So like I know when I do launches, especially on like closed cart day or open cart day, sometimes I'll send 2 to 3 emails that day, plus any regular emails that are getting sent out from my email sequences, like my welcome sequences, and like purchase confirmation emails for anyone that signs up to buy or enroll in whatever it is that I'm launching that day. That's a lot of emails to try and monitor all at the same time, while you're also trying to like be the face of your business and sell things to people and then deal with all of the back end tech stuff too. I just wouldn't bother dealing with it. And I would just set it up right from the beginning so that you're doing good things to not have a spam rate. You've got that one click unsubscribe and your email is authenticated already anyway. It doesn't take too long to do. And then you have peace of mind that you don't have to worry about it when you're already super busy. So the next big thing you're going to want to do is audit your lead magnet if you have one or more than one set up already. I know I've got 4 from my business right now. So your lead magnet is sometimes also called a freebie. You're going to think anything that's like checklist, guides, templates, quizzes, etc. So anything you give for free in exchange for someone signing up to your email list, so giving you their email address. And that's what attracts people to your list. So there needs to be a really, really strong connection between what it is that you're offering for free to get people on your list and the content that you talk about in your regular emails. And on top of that, you also need to have a really direct connection to the products or services that you offer. If there isn't a strong connection between all 3 of those things, this is where you're going to see your spam and unsubscribe rates soar, which you don't want. So if you have a lead magnet or lead magnets up already, review them for this alignment. If you haven't created a lead magnet yet, please do so as soon as possible. Email marketing is really the most effective when you're consistently growing your list. So consider pulling your existing audience, customers or clients about their pain points or questions that they have, and then brainstorm what kind of resources you could create that would help them solve this problem or a part of it, and that will hopefully get them ready to buy from you or hire you to work with them. So that's going to help you with that alignment, so that when someone lands on your email list, they're less likely to unsubscribe because they understand that the value you provide is in helping them solve this problem, and any other communications that they receive from you are going to just help them further through that process and get them better results. So what you wouldn't want to do is be like a financial planner and then have a lead magnet that's like 25 healthy meals that you can make in 20 minutes or less. There's no alignment. Someone's going to land on your email list because they want the recipes, and then you're going to send them an email about how they can plan for retirement and save for their RRSP. And they're going to be like, yeah, no, not interested. So that's where they would be like, oh, these emails are spam, or I don't want to be on this list. That's where you get into trouble. So just make sure right from the beginning, you have a plan in mind of where they're starting and where they're going to go, which is buying your products or services. Okay, another thing that we want to consider, and something that I say a lot, is that consistency is key for social media and for email marketing. And one of the reasons that I love email marketing is because consistency with it is at most 1 email a week. I think it depends on the type of business that you have and the purchasing cycles of your clients. Sometimes it's less than one email a week. Sometimes it's biweekly or monthly, maybe once a quarter. But for most, weekly check-ins with your email list generate the best sales results for you. So that being said, these emails need to go beyond just a once a week buy this, or people are still going to be hitting unsubscribe like crazy. Again, it goes back to thinking about who your audience is, what they want, and then figuring out what you want to talk about each week to help them with these problems or desires. Maybe you share great flight deals each week for the busy, on the go, stressed out CEOs that really need a vacation. Or maybe you're sharing those ready in under 20-minute recipes for the busy mom that spends all of her time driving her kids to and from activities after school. I personally subscribe to, I don't even know how many, but a lot of email lists. One of my favorites actually is from Duo Collective. Their Friday quick SEO squeeze teaches me how I can DIY my website's SEO in just a few minutes once a week. It's brilliant. I love it. Can't say enough great things about it. I've learned a lot since they started doing that. But you don't even have to teach people things. Maybe entertaining is more your speed, and each week you share the best memes that you saw on social media or funny stand-up comedy clips from amateur performers. The sky is truly the limit as long as it's relevant to your business and adds value to your followers or the people on your email list. The last point here is a tad more advanced and time-consuming to set up, and that is segmenting your audience. So this would be particularly beneficial if you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur like me and you offer multiple different but related services for your business. So as I mentioned earlier, I have social media, email marketing, and podcasting. All different services, technically speaking, but they all support a strong digital marketing strategy, which is why I offer them. You would segment your audience, in essence, creating groups inside your email platform. And you would only send messages to the groups that are interested in that message. So for example, if I was running a promo or a discount on podcast management, I would send it out to the people that are interested in podcast management. And sometimes that's 2 or 3 emails that I'm sending. So that segment would get all 3, whereas my social media and my email marketing segment might only get 1. And because there are some times where people in those segments might be interested in that. So that 1 email would be fine, but they don't want, 3 to 5 emails about podcasting when that's not really why they're on my list. So the more you can target the emails that you send, the lower your unsubscribe rate is going to be, because people are very interested in the emails that you're sending out because they're relevant to the problems or desires that they have. And to see how everything comes full circle and supports the goal of helping your email list and your followers get further in their business. So now that we've covered all of the legal requirements and what they mean for your business and how you can implement them, I want to shift gears slightly and share some of the email marketing predictions that I think we're going to see in 2024. So these aren't requirements. They're just what I think is going to become kind of popular, maybe best practices for the year as more and more businesses transition to email marketing as their primary sales driver. So for starters, much like websites, businesses that aren't optimizing their emails for mobile will lose subscribers, as the majority of the readers are leaning towards reading on mobile devices instead of desktops. So if your emails are primarily text-based, aka just words, you're likely going to be fine with this with like minimal to no work, because your email platform will like auto format it for you. But if you have more sophisticatedly designed emails, you're going to need to watch to make sure everything is readable and flows nicely on mobile. So I know for me, in the emails that I send, I design a lot of elements and visuals externally in Canva and then upload them as images. So you have to be careful when you're doing that they don't shrink to the point that people can't read them or that they don't get cut off in the mobile versions. So the second thing here, AI generated emails are not going to fly unless they're done like really, really well. So now that AI tools like ChatGPT have been around for over a year, readers are really familiar with what basic AI looks like, and it's a huge turnoff. Excessive emojis and descriptive words, little to no value beyond surface level knowledge, and no personal stories. It's honestly an instant unsubscribe for me because I can tell. And oftentimes I'll unfollow social media accounts that are clearly using AI to write their social media captions. So don't get me wrong, AI is a great tool, and even I use it for certain aspects of my business. But unless you spend a lot of time learning how to work with the AI tools and training it so it's truly well versed on your brand voice, your readers are going to see right through it. It's not going to sound like you. It's not going to resonate with all of the other messaging that they see on your social media and your website. You really need to make sure that you're not leaning exclusively on AI at its basic level. Like, don't go in and be like, write me an email about this topic. No, can't do that. People will just go out and find people that are being more genuine and authentic in their communications, and they'll just leave you alone, which you don't want. So I actually have a free resource that I'm going to link in the show notes. It's called 100 Chat GPT Prompts for Strategic. Okay, let's try that one again. I have a free resource I'll link in the show notes, 100 Chat GPT Prompts for Strategic Success. These are my go-to prompts to streamline my content creation process without losing my authenticity and voice in AI. So hopefully that will help you as well, because it can be helpful to leverage AI for writing emails, but it can't be the only tool that you're using. So this year, I think we're also going to see a shift towards interactive and creative email ideas and promotions that make being on your email list and purchasing from you a really fun experience. So think scratch card games, which one of my clients actually did, Monroe Bookkeeping, for a Black Friday promotion using a program called Coupon Tools. So if that's something that you think would be fun to try with your audience, a scratch card game, definitely check that out. They're great lead magnet ideas, and they're also fun ways to interact with the people that are already on your list as well. Spin to win discounts have been popular for years, especially with product-based businesses. Spin and get 20% off or free shipping. I did a bingo accountability game in December to connect and grow my email list, which was super fun. I definitely think that's something that I'll run again in the future. And not only did it help me grow my list, but it added value beyond just the initial, hey, I'm going to play. When people actually followed along, they saw the positive results from doing the activities on the bingo card. So they had that benefit for their business as well. It takes a little bit longer to set something like that up, obviously, because you have to build the bingo card. Whereas a lot of times email providers or add-on tools like add-on apps like Coupon Tools, and like spin to win stuff is available in like OmniSend in their packages. Your service provider will do a lot of that for you. So some of them do require more work on your end, but it's fun for your audience. And that's what's going to interest people in getting on your list and playing along with you. So again, the keywords throughout all of this, fun and exciting, more people are going to want to do it. That's why quizzes, polls, star ratings, all of those things are great for engaging your audience on social media and your email list as well. So that being said, not all email platforms offer those type of engagement options. So if that's something that's really important to you, you need to do your research before selecting a platform. Excuse me. So MailerLite has some fun email engagement pieces. OmniSend doesn't, unless you're willing to pay for additional plugins. So you just kind of need to check whichever platform it is that you're looking to work with. You just have to check whichever platform it is that you're looking to work with and see if those options are available or what the price would be to kind of add them on after. You might have to contact support about that for some more information. The add-ons aren't usually listed in the pricing section. Okay, kind of along the same lines, but to stand out on social media and email marketing, people are going to start favoring businesses that have really spent time thinking through the customer journey and the experience that they want to provide. So we talked about this a little bit earlier when we were talking about how your lead magnet connects to what it is that you're selling. But I don't think random emails that aren't consistent, you just kind of send it out whenever you have something to sell. Don't think that that's going to work this year. Not to say that businesses aren't going to do it, some still will, but I think they're going to get left in the dust for businesses who are showing up consistently and adding value, because inevitably someone because inevitably someone who does what you do or something similar is being more consistent than you are. And people like consistent. They want to know when they invest with you, that you're going to show up and do what it is that you say you're going to do. And part of that is consistently showing up with free content first in your social media content. So you're going to want to spend time creating an email template that reflects your business and gives people all of the information that they need to know, and all of the legal requirements, like a one-click unsubscribe. We've talked about fun. We've talked about consistency. I think experience has come up a few times as well. And I want to dive into that a little bit more because it impacts this one other aspect of email marketing too, which is why I think it's going to be fundamental this year. Because the first time someone interacts with your business email list kind of thing, not necessarily the first time they see your business, but the first time they interact with your email list is going to be through like your lead magnet sign up in your lead magnet. And then they're going to expect the same journey and results all the way through to the end of your welcome sequence. So you're going to want to start dedicating time to creating a longer, more thought out welcome sequence or sequences, depending. Some people have one welcome sequence that everyone gets, and some people have custom welcome sequences for every single different lead magnet they offer that leads customers on a different journey. Obviously, for smaller businesses, you're probably just going to want to start with one sequence. If you have one already, then maybe you're going to be spending time creating multiple different sequences for your other lead magnets. So you're going to want to spend time thinking through those welcome sequences so that they introduce your business to your new list subscribers. They add value, and then in general, they just welcome them to your corner of the internet. So one email delivering your freebie isn't going to cut it. I don't think that that's going to be what people want anymore. I know I personally dedicated a whole day to building and revamping my welcome sequences this month to have a thoughtful and more comprehensive introduction to my business. So if you end up downloading one of my freebies and seeing my new welcome sequence or sequences, because I think I ended up building 3 different ones in total, I would really love it if you would reply to one of the emails and let me know what you think, or send me a message on social media. Because it is a little bit of a trial and error process when you try something new in your business. So I want to know what ones resonate with you and what ones you're like, no. Okay. And then this is the last one. So I mentioned this briefly earlier. This isn't necessarily, no, okay, we're going to restart that. Okay, so that's what I think we're going to see more of in 2024. Nope. Okay, so that's what I think we're going to see more of in 2024. Not only are there going to be a few adjustments that people need to make before February to come into compliance with the new legal standards required by Google and Yahoo, but also some of the trends that I think we're going to see in order to stand out and have a really dedicated place on the internet that people are going to want to be a part of. So fun, interactive, well thought through, planned out customer journey that is super on brand for your business. And I know it kind of sounds like a lot right now, but when you actually sit down and break it down, you're probably talking about maybe 1 or 2 days worth of work to get it all set up on the front end, or rather the back end, to have a good front end experience for your customers. And that's really going to make a big difference for your business in terms of the sales that you see, the engagement rate of the people on your list, and your overall list growth in general. So I mentioned this briefly earlier, but one of the services that I offer is related to email marketing. And I just wanted to mention very quickly what that is. If you've listened this far, hopefully you recognize that email marketing is something that you need for your business to hit the sales and growth targets that you've set for 2024. I have a done for you email marketing setup option where I handle all of the tech setup so that all you have to do is sign in and start sending emails. If you already have your email system set up, then I have email management options based on your desired email frequency, so you can rest easy knowing that your email list is hearing from you regularly, we're adding value, and we're selling your products or services on repeat. So you can visit brittanymillersocials.ca/email marketing to learn more and book a call to chat about how email marketing can grow your business in 2024. And I'll link that in the show notes as well. So as always, thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you found some useful takeaways in today's episode, and I will see you back here next week.
Thank you so much for tuning in to Go Get Great. I hope you found some useful tips and tricks that can help you make life and business work together. If what I said resonates with you, please share it on social media, and don't forget to tag at Brittany Miller Socials so that I can celebrate you for taking those first steps towards achieving greatness. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It takes dedication, hard work, and a lot of spirit. So don't be afraid to dream big and go after what you want. Keep striving for greatness. You get closer with every step forward, no matter how small they may seem. Until next time, go get great.